Nostalgia. Do you remember when Fantasy Island was on the air and you could just switch on and forget everything, including the reason for existence? The man who made Fantasy Island such a plausible picture of cloud cuckoo land was the charming Ricardo Montalban.
Well, good morning, Tattoo. It certainly is a lovely day.
Did you say so, boss?
Tattoo.
Come on, boss. Let's go meet our guest.
My dear guests, I am Mr. Rourke, your host. Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Yes, the other key player in the land of the uncrushable white suit was tiny Villechais, alas no longer with us, but it was Ricardo Montalban's relaxed urbanity which made the whole thing work. He could sell you anything, and in recent years, he even succeeded in selling a cooking device which magically transformed any food put into it into a cordon bleu experience he greeted with 57 varieties of ecstasy.
The Grillery with Ricardo Montalban.
The Grillery, the compact kitchen appliance that does it all, quickly and easily. It grills and, as you will see, it does so much more. Nancy, do I smell fajitas?
Oh, Ricardo, your timing is perfect.
No, it wasn't my timing, Nancy. It was my nose. I can't resist that aroma. May I try a little piece?
Oh, absolutely.
That is delicious.
See, I knew you'd like it.
That's delicious. Absolutely. It is delicious. Thank you, Nancy. Everything you see here is delicious. And it was all made with the Toastmaster Grillery. Experience the speed and ease of cooking with a Grillery. I know you'll be glad you did.
For almost 50 years, through the stresses and strains of a Hollywood career, Ricardo Montalban's Latin grace has enchanted his audience. This is how he looked as Zachary Powers in The Colbys, making weekly but intense love to Stephanie Beacham. Is he still as elegant as ever? Let's find out as we go by satellite to Los Angeles and say, can you hear me, Ricardo Montalban?
I can, Clive James.
It's great to see you, Ricardo, and it's clear that all that grillery food did you good.
That was not a very happy experience for me, Clive, because the food was quite palatable. It was a remarkable little gadget, but the only thing I had to say, since it was ad-lib, was, that's delicious. That's scrumptious. That's extraordinary. And I ran out of adjectives which were overdone. It wasn't really, it was good, but it was never extraordinary.
What was so special about the grillery that made you want to advertise it?
Money. Very, very important. But also, I wouldn't advertise something that I didn't believe in. So they gave me one of those gadgets, and I tried them at home, and they were very practical. You could defrost things in a minute, and you could cook quite satisfactorily certain things. So it was good, but it was not, delicious, no.
Your character, Mr. Rourke, on Fantasy Island, he's one of my all-time TV heroes. Do you miss him?
It's not an easy role to play. If you ask my fellow actors, they will tell you, I think, 99% of them will tell you, that the most difficult thing for an actor to do is exposition. In other words, setting up the stage for somebody or relating information that is not all that exciting. Well, that's what I had to do for 7 years. Who's that, boss? Well, that's so-and-so. What's his fantasy, boss? Well, his fantasy is that he wants to become the king of an island. They think, can we do that, boss? Yes, I think we can. See, there was nothing. I was a perfect host, always in command, always telling people, now, you cannot go back on your fantasy once you start. Remember that. And that's as emotional as I ever got. So it became a little monotonous for me to do that. I was dying to do something with some passion.
You imitate your assistant Tattoo very well, but he wasn't always easy to understand, was he?
knowing one of the introductions that I had today is, who's that boss? I said, well, that's Mr. So-and-so. What's his fantasy, boss? Well, he wants to be a ballroom. Oh, is he here for the grand finale? I said, well, not finale, the finale. The grand finale. The director said, cut, Gervais, it's finale. And it's grand, rond. No, grand, rond, grand, rond, grand, rond. Perfect, let's shoot it. Television, there's no time to rehearse that much.
In the Colbys, you played the Greek Lothario Zachary Powers. Was that a high point in your career?
My constant, week after week after week for 2 years was, Sabella, I love you, Sabella. Will you marry me? Well, let me think about it. No, Sabella, if you have to think about it, then you don't love me. Please, marry me. I'll think about it. If you do that, I will never see you again. I work out. Next week, Sabella, I am please forgive me for walking out. But it's just that I love you so much. Will you marry me, please? Would you be? Well, are you going to think of... If you do that, I walked out. And then next week, Sabella. And it was always the same scene.
Ricardo, I've enjoyed your work throughout your long and varied career. And the only thing that depresses me is that you still look exactly the same as when I first watched you, whereas I look entirely different. Thank you very much, Ricardo Montalban. While we've been on the air, big news stories continue to break. These just in. Wimbledon, Mother Teresa goes out in the first round. Politician will sue dentist. Men behind Major say it's not nerves, it's an upset stomach.